Happy Youth Day. Welcome along everybody to a fresh episode of La Presse REFAIT match, where we unpack the drama and talking points from a Cameroon stoplight. Well, in the Elite 1 match day level was a day of mixed fortunes, which saw some teams maintain their upward trajectory, while others stumbled, facing unexpected challenges, from the cagey stalemate to high-scoring thrillers and even an unfortunate abandonment. We will dissect the key moments, and analyze how these results are reshaping the league. To look at all of this, we have fantastic guests in the studio with me. I start first with the first time, or the man that's here for the first time. We have two first timers actually, but I'm happy to have you, Nikasius Ambe, Public Relations Officer for PWG of Bamenda. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, dear panelists. Good evening, Mr. Ango. Good evening, Mr. Simo. Good evening, Madame Ladonette. And good evening to all the televiewers. I'm grateful to be here.
We're happy to have you. Happy Youth Day.
Happy Youth Day.
Okay. Well, sitting close to Mr. Mbe is none other than Angu Leslie, Vice President of Elite 2 side Eyes of Hopes Academy, National Vice President of the Cameroon Association of Sports Journalists. He's here with us for the first time in 2025. Angu Leslie, welcome. True.
Good evening to my co-panelists. Glad to share the platform with Mr. Ambe, with you, with Mr. Simo. Good evening to the mass audience of STV, particularly the fans of Eye of Hope Sports Academy and the president, whose latest birthday is today. We hope to have a rich time together, and why not edify Cameroon football through the opportunity you have given us. Thanks for the opportunity again.
Yeah, so happy Youth Day to you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. And another person who is a youth, we're happy to have youths on Youth Day. It's none other than Under 20 International Simo Gideon. He's here for the very first time. Bonsoir, bienvenue.
Bonsoir à vous, bonsoir à tous ceux qui sont présents aujourd'hui. Bonsoir aussi à tous ceux qui nous regardent et qui prennent plaisir à nous écouter.
Bonne fête de la jeunesse.
Merci, meilleur à vous.
Thank you. So there you have it. Our guest of today. We'll look at all the games in the MTN Elite 1 Championship. We'll look at the roundup. We'll look at the first half of the MTN Elite 2 Championship as well. It's going to be an exciting one. So I urge you all to, remain seated as we start the show. We kickstart first with the Elite News. Cameroon commemorates the 59th National Youth Day today, February 11, 2025, under the theme Youth Maturity and Responsibility for the Consolidation of Peace, Security, Economic Growth, and Democratic Progress. Well, as in previous years, the Cameroon Football Federation has extended well wishes to the football community on this occasion. Prior to this, the head of state addressed the nation's youth, urging them to take the lead in their respective field. Edimo, you're one of those youths the head of state was addressing to or speaking to yesterday in a speech. As a youth, what are some of the challenges facing young athletes in Cameroon, and what do you think are some of the innovative solutions that young people can propose and implement to address these challenges in your own area of work, which is football?
Ok. Pour ma part, je dirais que d'après le discours du chef de l'État, d'encourager la jeunesse, du sport, il a beaucoup parlé de l'état actuel du football qui est en crucial développement et qu'il faudrait que la jeunesse soit le fer de lance pour continuer à développer ce domaine-là, parce que je parle particulièrement du domaine du sport qui est le nôtre aujourd'hui. Je dirais que la jeunesse doit essayer de prendre son destin en main et essayer d'innover et de ne pas toujours être là à se plaindre et à râler au sujet de X et de Y, mais plutôt essayer de faire un consensus et d'essayer d'avancer ensemble et d'essayer véritablement de travailler dans le but de progresser pour essayer de développer notre football.
Okay. Well, Mr. Angle, Leslie, apart from being, Vice President of Isophones Academy, you're also a sports journalist, and we talked about, the CSU team talked about promoting security, peace as well. As a sports journalist, how do you feel like in recent years sports has been the center of peace amongst in Cameroon, and if not, what can we do to improve that?
Well, first of all, I want to repeat the well wishes of this latest edition of the Youth Day to all the youths out there. Sports these days is, like they say, it's a soft power. Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of influence, and the strides that has been achieved by multiple young Cameroonians over the years has put us in a position wherein we are inspired to keep striving to, why not achieve the heights of the Francois Mbango, the Roger Mila, and you name them. So to hear the head of state reiterate that yesterday meant a lot, and only encourages those of us that have chosen the sporting sphere as our area of interest, that somehow, someday, our efforts can be recognized through results, first of all, not recognized by the third party, but through the results we achieve from our efforts. And why not have the opportunity to represent the country, Cameroon, and give it the glory it's already obtained over the years. So, to me, I think it's another Youth Day, like many of us have witnessed, but to have the President of the Republic not only give a word to the youths, but start his speech particularly about the indomitable lions, and particularly talking about my perspective of it, because I must confess to you, he spoke in my perspective of seeing that team. The transition he's gone through in the last 6-7 months. I have the same perspective like him, more discipline now, more progress, away from all of the brouhaha of the World Cup and the Africa Cup of Nations. I think that reminds us or tells us too that somehow one day, if we keep working, the President of the Republic is also going to commend ISOSA, or why not commend the Sports Journalists Association.
Okay, well, we had some really, really good youth wishes from some players of Astro of Douala, and they're just sending out their warm Youth Day wishes to all the youths across Cameroon. Let's take a listen.
Société de Astro de Douala, milieu de terrain. Bon, la fête de la jeunesse me rappelle encore mon enfance, quand j'étais à l'école primaire où on célébrait la fête de la jeunesse et on défilait. Donc, je souhaite vraiment une bonne fête à tous mes petits frères qui sont à l'école primaire et de célébrer cette fête vraiment avec beaucoup de joie, parce que ça me rappelle beaucoup de souvenirs quand j'étais encore tout petit à l'école.
My name is Adjoa Jordan, midfielder. I play for Astro de Douala. Youth Day for me simply means a day where youth, which are the future of tomorrow, takes place in all what they do. I just wish to say happy Youth Day to all the youths. Thank you.
Happy Youth Day to all the youths. Happy Youth Day to all viewers of La Presse will Fell le Match right here on Spectrum Television. Well, it's on that note that we put an end to the first segment of the show. It's time for us to move over to the second part, where we talk about the games. Okay, well, let's talk about the games, and we'll do that right after this transition. Match day 11 of Cameroon's Elite 1 saw mixed results, with some teams maintaining momentum while others faltered. Key highlights included a draw slowing down Panthers' progress here in Douala, Victoria United's continued struggles, and a high-scoring draw between Gazelle Football Academy against Kotolspor of Garoua. Let's take a look at how match day 11 of the Elite 1 Championship unfolded in this report. Match day 11 in the Elite One Championship served up a mixed bag of results, significantly impacting the league table and team trajectories. Dynamo of Douala and Panthère Sportif Jindei played out the KG affair, ending in a 0-0 stalemate. This result holds Panthère's charge after a run of 3 consecutive victories, leaving them occupying 4th spot with 17 points. Dynamo of Douala's single point does little to improve their standing, bringing their tally to 13 and highlighting their mid-table mediocrity. Victoria United's title defense continued to unravel as they suffered a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Bambutus of Buda. Zidane Campbell Nday's strike proving decisive. These losses extend the champions' winless run to 4 games, including a worrying sequence of 3 straight defeats. The attack looks blunt, having only managed 2 goals while leaking 8 at the back. In contrast, Bambutus, under the guidance of coach Anicet Bagafoué, are enjoying a resurgence and bagging their 2nd consecutive win following a triumph in Garoua. Elsewhere, Stade de Rina secured a narrow 1-0 victory over Union of Douala. Ako Alexis continuing his fine form with his 5th goal of the campaign. Colombe Sportif Dujan Lobo bounced back from recent stumbles with a hard-fought 2-1 win against AS Fortuna. Patrick Ezimbi and Luc Bidet found the net for Colombe, while Assa Solomon replied for Fortuna. This victory marks a return to winning ways for Colombe after a disappointing draw against Young Sport and a loss to Canon Sportif, easing the pressure on the squad as they occupy the top place. In a thrilling encounter, Gazelle FA and Coton Sport of Garoua played out the pulsating 3-3 draw, with both sides showcasing the attacking firepower. Ibrahima Zakaria and Kalgon Kada were on target for Gazelle, while Daman Buba backed to brace for Coton Sport. The match between PWG of Bamenda and Feu Vazou Elite was unfortunately marred by off-field issues being abandoned due to gunshots. At the time of abandonment, the score was level at 1-1, with Jean-Claude Kameni scoring for Feu Vazou and Trésor Benger equalizing for PWG of Bamenda. Finally, the clash between Canon of Yaoundé and Young Sports Academy has been postponed, leaving fans waiting for a future date to witness this encounter. Roundup of match day 11 of the MTN Elite One Championship. It's a tradition that before we start the games, we just go around the tables to ask, our panelists what their highlight has been over the weekend. It might be in the MTN Elite One Championship, the MTN Elite 2 Championship, or the Guinness Super League. You have the freedom of choice to tell us what your highlight has been under 1 minute. So as quickly as possible, I start with you, Ango, Leslie.
Highlight of the weekend?
Yes.
Working with soldiers.
Working with soldiers?
Soldiers, REFAITers.
Okay.
Being able to upset a good team like Bafmeng
and
Bamenda at the death of it for the 2nd consecutive weekend. I mean, for me, it meant a lot. Congratulations to all the players of ISOSA, those that made it to the squad, the 19 of them that traveled to Bamenda, the technical staff, everybody, the driver, everybody. It's not the goal of the season to draw in Bamenda, but it meant a lot to us. Games against Bafmeng has always been something special. It's a derby. It's those 2 teams from Interpost and all that. Also, seeing my coach, let me put it in that way, Anicet Bagafoué, put our back-to-back results for Bambutus, it also meant a lot for me. So those were some of the moments that caught my attention.
Okay. Mr. Mbe?
Yeah, the game Dynamo versus Panthère. See, Panthère was coming with a 3-match win, and they were expecting to carry the day during the 4th day of play, but they also met a resilient Dynamo side that did not want to let things go because they have been having poor results. So we had a very good game at the Mbappé Municipal Stadium with fans present too to cheer their clubs to victory. My most important game was the game in Garoua.
Okay.
You see, Gazelle has been proving that they are not only strong externally, they are also strong at home. Playing a 3-0 tie against a Coton Sport that was leading by 3-1 and equalizing at the 94th minute, not giving to all. I think Gazelle is a force to reckon with in this Cameroon Championship. I give a big thumb up to the president, Sule Dailo. He has been doing a wonderful job. I like the coach. He plays purposeful football. He doesn't spend his time giving passes and doing the tiki-taka. He plays direct football. He knows that when we receive the ball, our purpose is the goal. He goes for the goal and he scores the goals. So I really like him. Then I cannot go without talking about my own game. My own game, it's unfortunate that football came and left twice. It's really an unfortunate situation.
This time he didn't even play up to 90 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't play up to 90 minutes. A play top that hosted a game a week before. And the second day, everybody was happy. The fans turned out in their numbers. And unfortunately, the game ended at the 45th minute. It's really an appalling situation, but we still hope. There is still hope in this horizon.
There is still hope. We'll talk about that. We have a lot of time to talk about that game. By the way, that's our first game of the day, so we will get to that. But Gideon, what's your highlight of the day? Is it the same as going to Bamenda and playing a 1-0 draw against Bafoumen United?
Oui, pour ma part, je dirais que c'est notre match qui a été, pour moi, le match le plus important de la journée parce que en tant que footballeur, je pense qu'il faudrait d'abord se voir jouer, penser à soi et à son évolution et à son futur. Le match contre Bafoumen était vraiment un match de haute intensité parce qu'il y avait beaucoup de contacts, beaucoup de chocs et aussi on a pu voir véritablement, comme M. Angoulès l'a dit, des véritables soldats dans ce match. Ensuite, lorsqu'on a terminé ce match, que nous sommes rentrés la journée d'après, lorsque j'ai vu le score du match de Coton Sport, Gazelle, ça m'a aussi vraiment beaucoup impressionné. Surtout le retour de Gazelle qui revient au score après avoir été mené 3-1. C'est vraiment incroyable de leur part. Je profite pour féliciter d'abord parce que j'ai beaucoup de coéquipiers avec qui j'ai eu à jouer dans Gazelle. Je profite pour véritablement les féliciter aussi et aussi leur donner les encouragements pour la suite du championnat.
Okay, well, everybody has a lot to say about that game. Gazelle against Coton Sport Garoua. It was a derby, one many looked forward to, and we'll have a chance to revisit that game most definitely today. Well, let's start first with the game. You mentioned Mr. Mbe, and that was, PWG of Bamenda against Feu Vazu. Unfortunately, that game did not see its end as it was cut short just after the first half. Gunshots were fired at the Young Francis Arena outside, according to reports. They were fired outside and it dispersed the crowds. Players had to run to safety and that game did not come to an end. But however, that game, the first half, it saw PWG play a 1-0 draw against Feu Vazu before it was abruptly ended. Or was, cut short abruptly. Let's take a look at the 2 goals scored in that game. The 2 goals scored. Unfortunately, that game did not see its end. But however, to get complete details of how that situation unfolded, we're going to have Afese Apong on the phone. He watched that game live in Bamenda. We've seen so many things on social media. People say it was some sort of tussle when that gun was fired. Security forces tried to calm the situation, fired theirs as well. So it was so many things have been going on. But we're going to talk to Afese Apong right now. Afese, good evening.
Good evening, Oni. Good evening to Uncle Leslie, Simon Gideon, and Ambeni Cassius to with you in the studio.
So, how are you doing? How is Bamenda today? Happy Youth Day.
Happy New Day to you guys. Bamenda is okay. You are doing well.
Okay, now the question is simple. What did you witness on Sunday when PWG of Bamenda played against Février Elite? What was the situation? Can you walk us through that?
Well, normally it was just it was a good game. The game started well, no itches from the start. It was a beautiful game of football, and we had Fuvas who opened scores earlier in the game, like you mentioned, through Jean-Claude Kamini, who opened scores. PWC equalized in the last minute of the game, last minute of the first segment of the game, through Trezon Bengue. Both sides were returning to the dressing rooms, tied at one goal on either side. That is at the moment where we heard gunshots around the pitch, and all the supporters were forced to go down, and the players were forced to rush back to their dressing rooms, just the same like the referees and the other match officials.
Okay, was it like the security forces present there? Did they fire shots as well? What was it like?
Well, normally most of the shots we heard were from the security forces who were present at the field. Though we also heard some gunshots, maybe from far off, kind of away from the field itself. But most of the gunshots were from the security forces who were present there during the game. And we should not hear that the security we had during the game against PW Bamenda versus Sovazu, it was really more than what we had during the first game that took place there earlier this season, which was Young Sport Academy versus RS Fortuna. We had about 5 pickups from the military guys who came to the field yesterday on Sunday. Of which during the first game, Young Sport Academy versus RS Fortuna, we had just about 3 pickups made up of security officers who were there. So in terms of the security, I believe that we had more military personnel during the game PW Bamenda versus Fuvazu than we had during the Young Sport Academy versus Fortuna game earlier this last week.
Okay, so how is the population like, after that incident? Has everything returned back to normal? What are people saying after that?
Well, only what we should not hear is that the moment we heard the first gunshot, when the referee for that game signaled the end of the first half, the gunshots didn't last for long. The first gunshots we heard during the game, they didn't last for long. And the population was already ready, and the dance group started animating again. So the population was ready to continue with the game. And we also had officials, both from the Cabinet of Federation and the others who were there, who tried to talk to the teams and the match officials to get them ready to come back to the field for the second segment of the game. That's when the gunshots against intensified, especially from the security forces who were present around the field during that encounter, and also gunshots that were fired from around the field, maybe some from the bushes around that area. For the population, I think the only thing they needed at that time was to why not rush back out of the place for security purposes, because it was already certain that it would definitely be difficult for the game to proceed, especially as the gunshots intensified at that moment.
Okay, so the players from both sides, everybody safe?
Everybody's safe. We didn't record any casualty. Nobody was injured. Thank God, nobody was injured, and everybody left the field safe, and they returned home. We didn't record any casualty, both on the supporters, the players, and so on. I think maybe the situation should be scary, especially to players of Fuvazu and the other visitors who probably was their first time witnessing such scenarios. Because for people who have lived in Bamenda, it's kind of a normal situation for them. They always witness it on a daily basis. You always get gunshots. Maybe after 5 minutes, people come back and they flow with their activities normally, and life goes on.
Okay, thank you so much, Afesa, for giving us more details regarding that situation. So there was more security in this game as opposed to the first game, Young Sports Academy against Ice Fortuna, and when that incident occurred. For those of you that haven't seen the images, let's watch this report and see how it unfolded.
Le Dieu. Et en attendant, on va continuer à s'écouter les bengales musicales comme ici.
Vous savez que Gazel est le petit frère, que les supporters de Gazel patientent, que nous prenons d'abord ce qu'on appelle la foulée de l'abattage du championnat. Au score, c'est au nom de Gazel qui va jouer avec si on ne peut pas mais
a day meant for celebration by football lovers in Bamenda turned to chaos as gunfire brought the PWG of Bamenda vs Février match to a halt at halftime. PWG of Bamenda's long-awaited return home game drew a massive crowd to the Young Francis Arena, eager to see their team battle Février. Despite falling behind by a goal under the 36th minute, the home side managed to equalize before the break. However, the atmosphere of excitement shattered at halftime when gunshots rang out outside the stadium, sending fans scrambling for safety. Security forces reportedly attempted to quell the disturbance. PWG of Bamenda confirmed in a press release that players and officials were escorted from the venue. The match was abandoned and Février was also escorted out. This unprecedented incident marks a troubling first for a League One game in Bamenda, especially considering that the Young Francis Arena recently hosted Young Sports Academy without incident. Second Division, Women's League and regional matches have all been held in the Northwest region without any similar security concerns. The players of Février, they say they were traumatized by that incident. But it's important to note that 72 hours after that, the Cameroon Football Federation hasn't said anything about that. The league organizers are still silent about that situation. But today, looking at the program, Young Sports Academy will not play in Bamenda. Their game will be played in at the Bamizi Stadium in Bafoussam. But, Mr. Mbe, more like days have gone by since that incident unfolded in Bamenda. Have you been in contact? With the league organizers? Have they said anything about the way forward? What has been happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, when we have security constraints like what we had in Bamenda, you see, the club issued a club statement, PWG of Bamenda. Février also issued a club statement, but with the situation we have on the ground in Bamenda, I think the security situation, we are expecting a statement from the federation and from maybe, I think it's from the federation because the clubs already did theirs. So I think to the federation, they are still gathering points. They are still looking for some points to help them give the statement, as what I heard from some of the close people at the federation. So I think programming USA's game in Bafoussam without informing them is not fair. If they were not informed, then it's not fair. They were supposed to discuss. Because PWD, yes, we are supposed to play out of our base. We are playing against that arena in Melo. It's but normal. We know the municipal stadium is still under renovation. We have played games in Bambili. So we can host our games, but we didn't ask the federation to ask us to play games out back home. They proposed, and we choose to play in Bamenda. So Yosa cannot be moving out. Maybe they had another alternative, Young Sports Academy, but now they took the decision without their consent. So to me, I think it's not too good. But I think we are still expecting a statement from the federation. The LG, Mr. Mbida, I passed through an interview he granted. So he was trying to say, yes, games have been playing. We have played games in Bamenda. It doesn't mean because we played a game at the Yosa Arena and had a problem that all the games will be moved out. We played in 2017. PWD was champion playing in that turf at the midst of the crisis. They won the converted trophy playing in that turf at the midst of the crisis.
Such incident did not occur.
No, it didn't occur. It didn't occur. We had one incident that occurred when Dragon was coming to Bamenda for reasons best known to them. They didn't want to follow the protocol. They decided to slip out of Bamenda, came into town around 9 and went directly to the field. On their way to the field, they were blocked by those fighters. Then you see they took valuable items from there. But President Young Jack, and President Abunde, they did all to their best so that those things should be refunded, that new things should be brought to the players. The players, they had all what they took from them through President Pascal and President Young Jack. So you see, that's the only situation we had. But this year, all the elite games have been played, the elite two that have been played in Bamenda without any incident. As the SD of the league was saying, we also have Boko Haram up north. So if they shoot 2-3 guns when Kutongpo is played, they'll bring their games where? To Ngaoundere? I think we have to set up. We had a situation, we have to look for a solution. We have to look for a solution. Our goal, we have to play in Bamenda. That's PWD of Bamenda. We've had enough of it. We have suffered, we have played 3 years. Do you know what? If they ask PWD and Young to play in Buda and collect gate takings and to play at the Young Sport Arena for free, what would they prefer? They prefer to play at the arena for free without collecting any gate takings. Because only money that the team spend to travel to Bafusa and Buda and back is enormous. We have sacrificed a lot. We don't have to keep suffering for things that we don't know.
You say this hasn't occurred in, League 2 games in the women's top flight. What exactly explains now? Because like you know the situation, Young Sports played there just 2 match days back, and that did not occur. But when PWG came, that occurred. What explains such situation?
We are not in mathematics. We are not doing mathematics where minus is always a plus. It happened that day. The incident didn't happen. But during PWG's game, it happened. We look for the way forward, the solution.
So what's the solution? How far are we sure that will not occur again in the next games? What's the solution?
So when they are moving the games out of Bamenda, so what are they telling people? That the people living in Bamenda, what are they? The players are Cameroonians. They have to play in Bamenda. We playing out of Bamenda, we are not dogs.
Afesa mentioned that there was more security on that day against PWD. On that match day,
yes.
Did you guys get a hang of such a situation? Was it any prior information before that for that security to be reinforced?
No, before then, the truth had to be, let the truth be told. There were exchange of words on social media. People, I don't know, for selfish reasons. The Bamenda population was a little bit separated. So they initially programmed our games in Bamenda. Then later on, they sent the games to Buda. So the population was not happy. So the governor held a meeting and arranged that there will be enough security. We'll play our games at the My 6 Arena. And that was done. That's why we had more security, because the governor promised to bring security, and he brought security and sent security. So that's why we had more security to make the environment conducive for people to be there. But it was an unfortunate situation. The governor didn't send security there so that we should have problems. No, he was not sending it because we had that they had information that something bad will happen. No, they were just trying to make assurance to be sure.
So Young Sport is moving to Bafoussam. Will games still be played in Bamenda?
There is still hope in the horizon.
Okay.
They have accelerated work at the Bamenda Municipal Stadium. The Mankurang, I think work will start there on Wednesday because the wire is already there to protect the immediate surroundings of the field. And I think if work accelerates before the next games after this, we should be sure to play in Bamenda.
Uncle, you think with this incident, clubs will be willing to go to Bamenda to play? He says, people that are living in Bamenda are also Cameroonians, and that incident might happen in any other part of the city. You think clubs will be willing to go to Bamenda to play after that?
I don't think my thoughts will really influence anything. I just have a few observations to make. Like, when I listen to our first if I did listen to him well, he said there was shooting somewhere off, and then it reduced, it subsided, and then the shooting that really put off everybody came from security forces. If my knowledge about football organization is anything to go by, first of all, security forces are not supposed to come to match venues with guns. I mean security forces. Now, in extreme situations like in the Donbass area in Ukraine, where you have Shakhtar Donetsk, you can have a military deployment around. They used to have with Shakhtar's home games in Ukraine, a military deployment around the venue, which sometimes is done with arms and with animals for security, like god donkeys, like dogs, around the arena, not in the arena, to take care of any encroachment of insecurity. I would like to understand how the deployment was done on that day, because if the deployment was done like 100 meters into the area, away from the area, to surround the whole area, then I don't think the shooting would have even had consequences on those at the arena. What does it profit 22 footballers to have, even if there was no shooting, to have maybe 90 military personnel around? Does it really help to have maybe 90 or maybe 50 military personnel around, fully armed, and the game is going on, whereas they could have been properly? I'm not a security specialist, but I've been in security meetings for football events in CAF and in FIFA before, and these deployments of security is really when the heads of states are coming for matches or for events, like most recently the Chandra in Nairobi. The deployment with arms is done around the venue, not in the venue. So I don't know if it was actually done around the venue, and we ended up having shooting around the venue, and those who are to secure in the venue are shooting. It should be in a worst case scenario where somebody in the venue is about to be taken away or is about to be attacked. That is when those who are in the venue can now use shooting as a last resort in every sporting event. I think that is the standard. I don't know what happened to that day in Bamenda. Unfortunately, I was there 24 hours before with my own team, and based on what I saw with our own team, there was no deployment around the venue. Contrarily, there was deployment in the venue, especially around the due, which meant we could have faced the same situation. We didn't see like military guys stationed at 100 meters or 200 meters around the venue on arrival and all of that. It wasn't done. Yes, it's true, our own was a smaller event, but if it was done in a smaller event, maybe it would have reduced the possibility of it happening in a bigger event. We are in a situation where if we say that football should not go to Norway forever, it means that we are saying that other activities that are threatened by security situation in the Northwest, which are state activities, should not happen in the Northwest. So like he's mentioned, in my perspective, we have to find a solution. We have to find a solution. And I blame PWG somehow because I said it off air to my brother here. They were supposed to do their own security deployment. They were supposed to do. Now, if you notice with our team, we already program. Like the game we're going to Chang, this is no declaration of war, but the game we are going to Chang against Egle, because they promised us they're waiting for us in Chang. We are going to travel with our security in our team bus. They're going to stay in the hotel, they're going to sleep with the team, and they're going to be in the match venue. And we're going to mention it in the pre-match meeting. I think that PWG should have done their own security deployment. You get it? They should have done their own security deployment. The club naturally even should have a security officer who works with the security and gives them the orientation per the football standards of how to deploy in that situation. I think that this is one of the measures that they have to have going forward. PWG needs to appoint a security officer. They have for the national teams, if you've noticed. And these are very experienced and trained military officials who coordinate with anybody who comes around the national team to make sure that their activities, the operations run smoothly. It's unfortunate.
Sorry, let me just come in. We have a security officer, PWG appointed a security officer that has been working for about 6 years now. So we have a security officer. For that I know. Maybe they did the security department did their best, but the best was not enough, and we had that situation. We have a security officer.
Yes. Okay. So it's good already if there's a security officer, and I think that his pre-match security recommendations and his during match security recommendations, if they were strictly followed, you will not have all of the security officers only around the venue, and you will not have security officers shooting in the match venue.
Okay, there you have it. Well, PWG of Bamenda, the level of PWG of Bamenda, you know, the fact that the games might resume back in Bamenda anytime soon. Are there any, you know, deployments at your level to make sure that, you know, those that are coming in, actors will be safe, everyone will feel safe?
Even before this other team came in, there were more formalities for them to be safe. No team can come to Bamenda because they send the federation, the Northwest Federation sent the document to the governor's office for security, and the security was deployed because the governor personally said he would take charge of security situation, and which he did. So it's just that the situation was an unfortunate situation.
An unfortunate situation, but we're still hoping and waiting for the federation to react to that, continue the way forward.
The SG of the SG, Mr. Mbida, he granted an interview already. Maybe
I saw that interview. You know, an official release.
Yes, we are waiting for an official release, but he already granted an interview.
Okay, talk about PWG of Bamenda's next game. It's not going to be in Bamenda. It's going to be outside. How is the team preparing for that game?
As any other game.
As any other game?
They're preparing as any other game, as the game we prepared in Bamenda. It's just that the results are not coming, but we have to keep working.
Why are the results not coming? You know, the last time you played here in Douala, fans were visibly angry that they wanted the results to come. It's David Pago that is at the helm, and they wanted to see something better than what the team has already done in the MTN Elite One Championship.
The team played better. The team created chances, but did not concretize the chances. So they keep working. That's why I said they keep on working, and when they start concretizing the chances, the fans will keep smiling.
So should we expect?
They should not give up.
Should we expect a better face of PWG in the second half?
We don't even want to talk about the second half. We are getting to that.
Oh, we're getting to it.
From the next game, we play to win.
Okay.
We don't play to draw.
You're going to play Stade Arena of Melong in Melong. And there's this thing that always comes with mystery. They say Stade Arena of Melong. They say the Melong Municipal Stadium always comes with some sort of, I don't know, voodooism or something, that people that go there should be scared.
No. You see, we once defeated Stade Arena of Melong. In Melong. So you see, David Pago and PWG of Bamenda, the history about David Pago and PWG of Bamenda is this. He wins most of his games out of home. It's just that this season we have been playing Bunda, we have been playing out, we have been recording draws. But he always wins away from home. But I think this time around, we'll start getting the T's and dotting the I's.
Ango, just one word on that match, PWG against Stade Arena. David Pago is returning back home. if we can call it that way. He coached Stade Arena last year, and now he's going back. How do you see that game?
Well, it's an interesting one. It means we're already previewing the next match day.
Yeah, no, just previewing just that game.
Just that game,
yes.
Okay. It's an interesting one. Pagu is not only for Pagu, for some of for the Anglophone extraction of players who are at Star Arena, the Aqua Alexis, the Wisi Serge. It means something extra for them. And for Pagu, it's the same thing, coming back to Melong, where he finished vice champion last year, you must note. It's going to be an interesting game. May the best side win.
May the best side win.
And Ashu Kerido. Yes. The goalkeeper for Star Arena of Melong. Think legend for PWG, right?
That's right.
Well, the best side will win, most definitely. We'll see how that goes. We're calling all football fans in Melong to turn out and watch that game. It's going to be an interesting one. Well, moving away from, the PWG of Bamenda's game against Février in Bamenda, let's talk about the derby that played in March the 11th. Over there in Garoua, between Gazelle Football Academy and Coton Sport of Garoua. Well, it was a 6-goal thriller between these sides. Coton Sport of Garoua was leading by 3-1 before Gazelle staged an offset and managed to pick up a draw in that encounter. Well, let's take a listen to the coach. We'll listen to, obviously, Yuguda Kada. We'll listen to Kalgon Kada, one of the scorers of that day. Alum Kada as well was the coach of that side. He's happy, and he says it's not any team that can stage such an offset against Coton Sport of Garoua. Let's take a listen.
On se donne à fond les uns pour les autres, et je pense qu'on arrache un match nul à la dernière seconde, et c'est parce qu'on a montré du caractère. Je pense que c'est ce qui a à retenir, le caractère qu'on a montré à la fin de ce match. Avec les années précédentes, autant pour moi, les années précédentes, j'ai eu beaucoup de bobos, notamment les blessures répétitives qui m'ont éloigné un peu du stade. Et cette année, par la grâce de Dieu, j'ai retrouvé, je pense, mon niveau, et j'espère qu'avec le travail que nous donnent nos encadreurs, je vais pouvoir monter encore davantage.
Lorsque nous menions 3-1, on pensait qu'on avait fait le plus dur, mais voilà, on s'est fait rattraper malheureusement. On est contraint au partage de points. Mais bon, c'était une très belle rencontre, c'est un derby, donc voilà. Nous savions déjà qu'on allait avoir un très gros adversaire, connaissant déjà la témérité, l'engagement et même la motivation de cette équipe. De Gazelle, on savait que ça n'allait pas être facile, mais il y avait quand même de la place. Il était question pour nous de gérer, malheureusement on n'a pas su gérer, et je voudrais vraiment leur dire bravo parce qu'ils ont cru, ils ont tenu, ils se sont engagés jusqu'au but, ils ont obtenu un peu cette égalisation. Voilà, vraiment bravo à Gazelle.
On a su faire le boulot en première mi-temps et Gazelle a su revenir au score malgré une faute de concentration, et je pense qu'on avait le match en main mais on l'a lâché à la dernière minute.
Of Garoua have themselves to blame after giving away that 3 point. walking away with just 1 point. But despite that match, I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere at, the Rumdia Janik Stadium. It was beautiful for fans of Gazelle FA and Cotonsport of Garawa, all dressed in their colors, Gazelle in blue and white, Cotonsport in green and white, and they enjoyed themselves. Let's take a look at that.
Le Dieu. Et en attendant, on va continuer à s'écouter les belles musicales comme ici.
derby de la région du Nord, mais Coton va gagner. Vous savez que Gazelle est le petit frère, que les supporters de Gazelle patientent, que nous prenons d'abord ce qu'on appelle en football le labatal championnat. Le score c'est Coton 3, Gazelle 20. Tu vas te jouer avec mais seulement nous allons assister à un beau football entre Gazelle et Cotonsport.
Mais je suis à l'équipe nationale, mais grâce à Dieu, je suis avec mon grand. Je vais jouer pour pouvoir parler. Je vais jouer pour pouvoir plaisir dans le match aussi. Et Dieu est dans le milieu de ma vie. Un match qu'on attendait depuis aujourd'hui. Je pense que ce soir, le public va pouvoir les deux équipes. C'est chaud en tout cas.
Le pronostic ou bien vous restez que le vainqueur?
Je préfère rester neutre, c'est deux équipes qui s'attendent que le meilleur gagne.
C'est 2 buts pour Gazelle et 3 pour Coton. Ce coup franc direct à quelques secondes de la fin de la rencontre.
There you have it, beautiful images over there in Garawa, fans celebrating that wonderful game of football. Just one question before we move over to Dinamo against Panthère Sportive. Angu, Leslie, we've seen great derbies in this Elite One this first half. Some have produced so many games, but so many good goals. Can we say this is one of those derbies that we'll always remember in this season of the Elite One Championship?
No, but I think for me, I come from Southwest. I mean, it reminds me of the great days of Chico United versus Mount Cameroon, and it also is a call for those of us who are doing football in the Southwest that proceeds can come. God's given enough for everybody. We can have 2 teams in Elite One in Southwest, particularly in Limbe, and have moments like this for the people of Limbe. Nothing is mutually exclusive on earth. But like Coton today is the big brother of the city, stays a big brother. But the way Gazelle is coming, like Mr. Mbe mentioned earlier on, is one to look out for in the nearest future. to come back from 3-1 and pick up a point in a contest like this, it tells a lot about Gazelle. But the goalkeeping from Barbie Marcelin, criminal goalkeeping for a boy who's been first choice goalkeeper of the national intermediate team and has been in the senior national team. I think he was at the World Cup or something like that. Yes. So for him to make errors like this, schoolboy errors like he did, imagine picking up a back pass from his defender in open play in the 90th plus minute to give away that indirect free kick. And even the second goal Gazelle scored was a cross in the second in the penalty area, which was within limits for him to come and collect. But that's football. Errors give goals. I know you women, what makes it beautiful for you is not maybe it's not the public and everything. You women like games wherein there are many goals, and there were many goals in this one, so it makes it exceptional. But Kotong is getting better. Away from looking at the ambience between the fans and all that, Kotong now, I think they 5 games now unbeaten under Minkro Biwe. In that 5 games, they pick up 11 points for a team that really struggled from the beginning. They now play like a better team, taking their chances when they have them. To have Daman Buba Abdurrahman come back into this team and score, the impact of Chindo also in the game. In nearly most of the offensive moves, he was very, very crucial. It will be from if I'm in Kotong, as particularly because Gabden Alan Batman has come back, the Chadian goalkeeper. It's going to take a long time, if I'm part of those who decided at Kotong, for us to see Barbie again in the match day squad, talkless of seeing him in between the sticks after this schoolboy display from him.
Well, it's definitely a place to contend with. You know, it's. I mean, Gabin had been there last season, and we'll see how it goes with Babi that has started the season with Cotton Sport of Garawa. We'll see how it goes in their next game. It's going to be against Young Sports Academy. Young Sports Academy against Cotton Sport in Bafusam. That too. Young Sports Academy against Cotton Sport of Garawa. Gideon, how do you see that game? I mean, as a midfielder, you know, Young Sports Academy hasn't played. I mean, their match is still to be programmed. We don't know when that will unfold. Their match, the 11th fixture against Kandong. We don't know when that will be programmed. We have a Cotton Sport Garawa that lost a 3-goal lead to Gazelle. You're coming into that game. What kind of mentality are you going into that game with? As a midfielder, what do you think they will be going into that game with the players?
Ok, pour moi, ce match sera assez ouvert dans la perspective où ce sont des équipes qui jouent beaucoup à la balle et qui ne sont pas assez attentistes. Ça veut dire qu'ils ne prennent pas le temps d'observer, ils sont là pour attaquer. Mais je pense que côté Young Sport, depuis le début du championnat, ils sont un peu en difficulté. Et ça peut être un bon moyen pour Cotton Sport de prendre le dessus sur eux, vu le début de leur saison. Mais on a aussi un Cotton Sport qui revient d'un match, je dirais même d'une défaite, parce que pour leur dernière journée, revenir de 3-1 à 3-3, c'est une défaite pour eux. Donc ça peut aussi toucher le mental de l'effectif et on peut voir Young Sport prendre le dessus sur Cotton Sport, d'autant plus qu'ils sont à domicile, ils connaissent le stade de Bafoussam, ils connaissent l'air de jeu et le climat aussi qui pourra jouer en leur faveur. Donc je pense que ce match sera assez joué et je pense que Young Sport pourra battre Cotton Sport et reprendre le dessus sur cette partie.
Ok. Canon Gazelle?
Yeah, as I said earlier during my intro,
Gazelle is a team to look forward to, you know.
It's a team to watch, and I gave a thumb up to the president.
You know, Coach, I mean, the president of Young Sports Academy, Mamimba, says the coach of Gazelle, Alum Kada, is the best coach in Cameroon. Then after that, we have Theodore Akosemo.
His opinion counts.
Yes.
Me, I don't. It's not yet time to start grading coaches. Ben Kada, he's a top level coach. He's been with our team for quite some time. He came from a defeat against a surprising defeat against Bambutus of Buddha in Garwa. So he thought he was going to do better against Coton Sport. And I think that 3-3 draw after being led 3-1, I think is, to me, it's a victory for him against the big brother.
Most definitely. Well, Gazelle knows how to win games away, and we'll definitely look forward to that game against Canon Sportif and how they face that game. Well, we return to Douala, where we talk about Dinamo against Panthère. Dinamo of Douala held at home by Panthère Sportif. A bird side played to a stalemate at the Bona Moussadi Stadium. Yves Clément Roga was facing a team he knows so well, Dinamo of Douala. He coached them last season right up to the playoff up where they lost the championship. However, he could not show anything against Dinamo as, Dinamo with the new interim coach, Jean-Pierre Motte, held the side to a goalless draw. Let's look at some of the chances missed by both sides in that game played at the Bona Moussadi Stadium. Unfortunately, no side was able to put the ball in the back of the net, and they just had to settle for 1 point. Let's take a listen to the different coaches of this side. Well, for Dinamo of Douala, they are trying to learn. Coach Motte, who took over after Inangasa was sent packing, says he wants to be familiar with the team. In the next games, they will show a better face. Let's take a listen to them.
It's very important to that point because it's very difficult when you play at home. So it's important to take that point. We are still working on. We are going to work so hard to build the very hard team. We have injury, 2-3 players. We have injury, so we have a player for the bench who can try to give us the new version. No?
La confiance de tout le monde et puis à la suite sera meilleur. Oui, c'est une ligne offensive sur laquelle nous sommes en train de travailler. Je pense qu'on va l'améliorer dans les prochains jours.
Well, fans also turned out in their numbers to witness these games. We had even commentaries from in our mother tongue. Those from Bagante, they were blasting it, and also in Bassa. It was such a beautiful atmosphere. Let's go take a look.
On a eu 2 matchs à Douala, on a pris 1 point sur 6. Ça inaugure des bonnes occasions. On a eu des occasions, on n'a pas pu concrétiser, mais je pense que la prochaine fois on va rectifier le tir et on va aller de l'avant. Les gars ont mouillé le maillot. C'est vrai que le peuple, le 12e joueur, est déçu. Mais nous restons confiants pour notre équipe pour les matchs à venir. Chacun a ses humeurs. Vous savez, la semaine dernière, on a perdu. Beaucoup de supporters ont été découragés. Mais certains qui supportent avec le cœur sont toujours là. Vous voyez mes papas derrière moi. Ils sont là malgré la défaite, malgré la victoire, ils sont toujours là. Donc on espère que la prochaine fois, on va rectifier le climat.
Quand vous regardez le jeu de la Dynamo, ça ne va pas du tout. Je suis entré à la Dynamo en 2006. On a fait trop d'efforts. En ce moment, il n'y avait pas de moyens. On se battait avec le président Sinkot. Ça n'allait pas du tout, mais on l'a mené à nous comprendre. Là où il y avait des failles, on lui parlait un peu. Les entraîneurs se battaient. Les supporters étaient mobilisés. On avait au moins 5 comités de soutien. Aujourd'hui, avec l'arrivée des hommes des moyens, je peux appeler les millionnaires, les milliardaires. Nous comme ça, nous n'avons plus parole. Nous n'avons même plus accès au congrès. Et vous voyez le résultat, ce que ça donne. Aujourd'hui, on n'arrive même plus à gagner 2 matchs. Contre la Panthéon, on fait un match nul. Vous devez comprendre que ça ne va pas. Mais quand vous allez poser la question, les gens vont tourner, ils vont vous dire autre chose qui ne concerne pas le ballon. Ça ne va pas à partir de la direction. C'est la direction qui fait un cahier de charge pour une équipe au cours d'une saison. Lorsque ce cahier de charge n'est pas bien établi, rien ne peut aller. Faites n'importe quoi, ça ne va pas donner. Quand la direction est bien ficelée, l'entraîneur a un cahier de charge, il donne son point de recrutement, on lui donne les joueurs qu'il faut, le résultat est là. Vous n'avez qu'à voir Gazelle, ils ont un bon projet de société. Vous n'avez qu'à voir Coton Sport, vous n'avez qu'à voir Colombe, des équipes d'hier qui n'atteignent pas la Dynamo, qui n'ont pas le nombre d'années de football. Quand vous regardez la Dynamo jouer, ça ne ressemble à rien. C'est comme s'ils n'ont même pas mangé. C'est comme s'ils n'ont même pas de salaire. Je ne suis pas dans l'équipe dirigeante. Mais quand je regarde les enfants, je vois leur atmosphère, je vois leur comment on appelle ça, je vois leur mine. Ça ne va pas. Sans vous mentir, ça ne va pas. Donc j'appelle tous les bassards et les dirigeants actuels, moi je ne suis pas contre eux, mais je sais que ça ne va pas. Qu'il appelle tous les bassards, bâtim pour qu'on s'assoie, qu'on s'asseye, qu'on essaye de discuter. Parce que l'équipe s'y risque de descendre. À la louche, ils ont des aérés de salaire, si je ne me trompe pas. Dès que vous avez un joueur, il me dit qu'ils ont des aérés. Il faut qu'on les paye un peu d'argent, qu'on leur donne un peu d'argent. Qu'on leur donne un peu d'argent, ils vont jouer. Mais je pense qu'il y a le premier profond. Donc il faut qu'on appelle tout le monde, les supporters, les dirigeants, les anciens, les nouveaux. On essaie de s'asseoir et puis on bosse notre équipe. C'est notre équipe à tous, ce n'est pas pour quelqu'un.
You've listened to fans of Dynamo of Douala. Well, they want results for a team promoted last season. Do you think you're asking for too much?
Permettez-moi d'exprimer en français, même si ça va pas être le français de François Mitterrand ou de Macron ou Sarkozy. Moi, je pense que ce club doit être humble. Dynamo doit être humble. Dynamo vient de monter, c'est la 2e saison en Elite One. Et c'est pas un chien ou je sais pas quoi. Parce que Dynamo c'est un club de 50 ans ou de 60 ans. Ça doit être plus fort qu'un chien de 10 ans. Non. Dynamo doit être humble. Et quand j'écoute le support, le monsieur qui vient de passer là, le supporter, je lui donne beaucoup de respect, mais on ne parle pas comme ça d'un projet. On ne parle pas comme ça d'un projet. Dans Gazelle aussi, il y a les gens qui se plaignent. Il y a des réalités en intérieur. Moi, je peux vous dire que Gazelle, aujourd'hui, n'est pas le club avec le joueur le plus payé dans le championnat camerounais. Mais eux, ils trouvent les moyens pour faire le résultat. Chacun a ses réalités. Je me souviens il y a quelques années, l'année où PW est sorti champion, le 2e meilleur joueur était Lukong Avoudou, quelque chose comme ça. C'était les supporters cotisés pour payer Lukong. Donc, quand un supporter passe devant les micros comme ça, et il dit que non, j'ai causé avec un joueur, il y a des arrêts, pourquoi pas prendre ça sur toi? Tu gères le joueur. Prends ça sur toi. Comme il a dit, c'est un club pour eux tous. J'ai eu la chance d'avoir des amis qui sont passés par Dynamo, que ce soit les joueurs, les coachs, comme Aruga qui est un ami. Je pense qu'ils sont toujours dans une bataille en intérieur qui finissent à fragiliser le projet. Et tout le monde n'est pas Victoria United ou Edding ou UMS, parce que quand je vais dire ils viennent de monter, quelqu'un va citer dans Dynamo, quelqu'un va dire que non, ils ont monté ensemble avec Victoria, Victoria est sorti champion. Edding a fait 2 ans en élite, ils sont sortis champions. La même chose comme UMS. Mais tout le monde n'est pas UMS. Et eux n'ont pas la politique de UMS. Quand UMS est sorti champion, c'était le regroupement des meilleurs joueurs, les Haruna Ndang, c'était le regroupement des meilleurs à cette époque. Même chose avec Edding, avec les Pascal Baga, Bega, les Anicien Baga, Fouy, les Baelian, c'était le regroupement des meilleurs joueurs. Mais qu'aujourd'hui, combien de joueurs dans Dynamo, vous voulez jouer le premier rôle dans ce championnat? Combien de joueurs dans Dynamo peuvent être titulaires dans Coton? Je ne leur manque pas le respect. Mais en dehors de peut-être Moumasso, d'Eric, Joël, Tiché, le latéral gauche. Il y a plein de joueurs qui viennent de découvrir ce championnat. Il y a plein de joueurs qui viennent de découvrir ce championnat. Donc, on a un problème général au Cameroun qui touche Dynamo plus. Il n'y a pas une photo parfois entre l'objectif et la politique autour des projets. Dynamo veut jouer le premier rôle dans ce championnat. Regarde le recrutement de Coton. Regarde le recrutement, le projet de Gazelle. Ils ont peut-être 90% de leurs joueurs qu'ils ont fait 3 ans avec eux en Elite One. Ça ne peut pas être la même chose. Kadaï là depuis combien des années? L'entraîneur principal. Je pense qu'ils sont sur leur de leur 3e coach déjà en première division. En moins d'1 an. Donc il faut qu'on soit réel. Moi j'entends ça partout. Ce n'est pas seulement à Douala, ce n'est pas seulement chez Dynamo. Les gens disent toujours c'est un club de peuple, c'est un club de peuple. Un club mythique. Un club de tout le monde. Mais quand on veut faire le coup de cœur, on place un plat, on fait peut-être 5 heures de temps en attendant que tout le monde passe. Quand tu finis, tu fais le décompte, c'est 500 000. Mais tout le monde dit c'est un club de tout le monde. Moi, je tiens à féliciter Alphonse Béa parce que ce qu'il a réalisé. N'oublie pas trop tôt qu'à la fin de la phase allée de la saison passée, la saison avant les montées, la saison surpassée, Dynamo était relégable. Dynamo était parmi les clubs qui devaient descendre en régional. Donc tout ce qu'ils ont réalisé jusqu'à aujourd'hui, mais être même en play-off de la montée de la saison passée, c'était déjà beaucoup en termes de retour. Donc il faut que le club soit humble. Ceux qui sont autour des joueurs ou ceux qui sont autour des clubs, disent la bonne chose aux joueurs, aident les joueurs à faire les résultats. Beaucoup de clubs qui font des résultats aujourd'hui dans le championnat camerounais, la réalité est dure, mais beaucoup de clubs qui font les résultats aujourd'hui dans le championnat camerounais ne sont pas les clubs avec les gros moyens. Ce sont des clubs avec de bonnes politiques, de bonnes personnes autour de ces politiques, des joueurs avec de bonnes mentalités, comme les Gazelles, comme je ne sais pas quel club encore à citer, peut-être même en élite tout, comme les FAB. Des clubs qui sont consistants comme ça, ce n'est pas en cause de beaucoup de moyens, mais le discours autour du club, le discours avec les joueurs, le projet, la réalité de leur politique et la réalité du championnat.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Fans of Pante Sportivo Ondé had a lot to say as well after that game. Well, it has been 3 wins, 1 draw, so it's not something to cry over. However, they are looking forward to their next game. They say it's going to be better. Let's take a listen to them.
Non, le nul n'est pas regrettable. On pouvait gagner ce match, mais malheureusement, on n'a pas eu de chance de gagner. Bon. Félicitations au bébé Nzui. La prochaine sera le meilleur.
C'est vrai que nous rentrons avec un point, nous ne pouvons pas cacher parce que nous avons eu beaucoup d'occasions. Un point, c'est pas rien. Nous avons juste travaillé sur comment concrétiser les actions. Parce que quand on regarde au cours du match, nous avons eu pratiquement 5 occasions de but. Mais on n'a pas pu marquer. Donc je pense qu'on va mieux travailler la prochaine fois pour pouvoir concrétiser et rentrer avec les 3 points.
Pour moi, c'est un match très attendu parce que, voyez-vous, le coach Aroga sur le banc touche d'Apanté avec à cœur de prouver ce qui s'est fait d'ailleurs. Et on ne peut pas cracher dessus parce qu'on a vu la nette domination de la Panthère. N'eût été le manque de braquage de nos attaquants, on aurait dû remporter ce match. Néanmoins, on est content, on est satisfait du jeu que les enfants ont produit cet après-midi.
Aujourd'hui, on a eu des très bonnes phases de jeu. Nous avons vu des ballons qui partaient de la défense jusqu'à l'attaque sans problème. C'est vrai qu'on ne peut pas aussi quand même s'appuyer sur ça, mais il y a aussi le corps arbitral qui ne nous a pas beaucoup aidé sur plusieurs actions qui étaient vraiment claires, des actions qui pouvaient mener au but. Mais bon, on connaît la Panthère, on sait qu'on va savoir comment se relever. C'est Panthère Jundé et nous serons toujours là derrière eux.
Ouais, justement, le match a été vraiment à notre portée, surtout que dans les 30 premières minutes, on aurait dû mener même 2 à 3 buts à 0 avec la balle traversant, les face-à-face ratés. Bon, on remet tout à dire, bon, c'était pas notre jour. Nos avances n'étaient pas vraiment dans le bon plat aujourd'hui. Bon, ça arrive.
Vraiment, les gens ont tout donné, les gars ont tout donné, ils ont mis la pression, mais malheureusement, on n'a pas eu l'occasion de mettre le ballon au fond. Mais je crois qu'avec la position que nous sommes là, on va mieux travailler la Panthère. On ne croyait pas à la Panthère. Mais avec le fond du jeu qu'on a vu sur le terrain aujourd'hui, je crois que ça va promettre et ça va aller. Si elle dit Dynamo contre If Aroga, c'est parce que l'enfant rejeté. Et comme vous connaissez toujours, l'enfant rejeté finit toujours par produire quelque chose. Et je crois que le match retour, il va se venger.
There you have it. Well, let's look at match day 12 fixtures of the MTN LG1 Championship. On Friday, February 14, on Valentine's Day, a Valentine's fixture is going to be started at the Stade Annex. One of the Niçois Stadium will see Février play Union Sportive of Douala. On Sunday, we'll see Canon host Gazelle. At 3:30 at the Melon, we'll see Stade Arena play against PWD of Bamenda. Stade de Bouddha will host Bambutis of Bouddha against AS Fortuna on Fou. Stade de Banjun, Pantes Sportif Jindé against Aigle Royal du Mungo. Stade de Bamendi. Young Sports Academy against Coton Sport of Garoua, Centenary Stadium in Limbe, Victoria United against Colombe Sportive, and the Stade de Bona Moussadi, Les Assos de Douala against Dynamo of Douala. Well, move away from this match day 12. Let's look at the MTN LE2 Championship, where the first round has finally come to an end. Over the weekend, very beautiful games played. We saw games like Ice of Hopes Academy and Bafoume United. Well, Bafoume United play a 1-0 draw against Ice of Hopes Academy. Tonne Calara Club played a 1-0 draw against Union Sportive. That Bombang ISFAB lost to Eding Sport. 1-3. Fovo Football Club of Baham played a 1-0 draw against Jiko de Banjun. It seems like this lad's day was just like we had to take a point, or the point. We better take a point than lose the game. Angle Leslie.
Well, this pool A, right?
Yes, pool A.
Very complicated. It's not, sometimes you don't choose what you get in this pool. It's very complicated. If you look at it, nearly a part of Union Sportive of Abombang and Isosa, all the other teams were nearly one. Not too long ago, 2-3 years ago, all the other teams were nearly one. And even Union Sportive of Abombang is a historic club in this country. They've had some wonderful days. So it's a very, very competitive pool. The transition sometimes between the seventh team and the first team, it takes just a game to swap from seventh position to first position. So for Tonne, for Isosa, for Union Sportive of Abombang, for Bafoume, we go into every game knowing that a slip-off can take you as deep as into the relegation zone. So there's that consciousness in the hearts of most of the teams, and this is where I take an opportunity to really salute our coaches, the coaches of Isosa, because only the coaches led by Mbok Maput, they know what they want in every game, and nearly all of the games they've told us different things about their approach and what they want. And I want to really salute them, because most often, like in 90% of the occasions when they've opted for something, it's worked for us. For example, against Aigle, now I can say it because it's passed against Aigle. They told these boys the whole week we have to do everything to score within the first 15 minutes, and they scored in the 12th minute. So when you have that do everything to score within the first 15 minutes, even if they come back, we'll get another chance and we'll kill the game. And Aigle came back 3 minutes after we scored, and they found a way somehow to bring a player from the bench to win it for us. And it's the same thing against Bafoume. Be more organized, be conscious, it's a good team, respect them. Make it difficult for them in the midfield, especially because that's where they develop their game. And we gave Bafoume an unfortunate surprise. They were really expecting to see our Jefta, because knowing that they watched our game on Yaoundé against Tonne, he was a playmaker, he was everything. And then they turned up on match day and he was nowhere to be found in the squad. That sometimes destabilizes. And Simo has been playing in A-League maybe 3, 4, 5 years. One thing about A-League, he would attest with me, is that most of the coaches in A-League, they don't care about the opponents. They train only their team the whole week, and then they come on match day, they line up their team. They don't tell you maybe this opponent, this midfielder is this way or that midfielder. But this is details we've been paying attention to, and I think it's really been helpful. Contrary to the other pool, it's not easy to get a point in this pool. Our points, 1 point, our 1 point here means more than 1 point to us. So especially when we go away from home and we get a point. Last year, these away games some of these away games are games we struggled in away against a contender like Eding. We lost 4-0 in Yaoundé. Against a contender like Dragon, we lost 1-0. But this isn't a contender like Bafoume. for us to pick up a point meant a lot, even against Union Sportive of Abomba. If we didn't meet a great Marshal Meriange in goal that day for them, we could have come back with something. So it was a difficult weekend. Congratulations to Bafmeng. They made it a more close spectacle for all of us, and I hope that in the second round we'll be able to get more from games like this.
Okay, Gideon, tell us about it. How has it been, the experience for you this season in the MTN Elite 2 Championship? How has it been?
Pour moi, l'expérience en MTN Elite 2 cette saison est, je dirais, beaucoup plus compliquée parce que c'est ma deuxième saison en MTN Elite 2 et c'est ma deuxième saison dans le club à Isosa. Et par rapport à l'année dernière, cette saison, surtout notre poule, est encore plus difficile. L'année dernière, on croyait déjà que c'était difficile, mais cette année, on a encore une poule beaucoup plus difficile et où il faut beaucoup plus se donner et beaucoup plus travailler pour atteindre ses objectifs. Mais je pense qu'avec l'encadrement qu'on a, le staff qu'on a, les coachs et tout, on peut se permettre de rêver cette saison particulièrement parce que nos matchs sont toujours difficiles, mais on réussit toujours à sortir la tête de l'eau. Comme je peux dire, le match contre Bafmen, c'était un match très compliqué et tout. Mais on a pu sortir de là avec un point et une performance beaucoup plus acceptable. Donc je pense que moi, ma vision est que aucun match n'est à prendre à la légère, aucune rencontre n'est facile. Et par rapport même à l'autre poule, notre poule est une poule assez corsée, mais on ira jusqu'au bout et je pense qu'on pourra se permettre de rêver à la fin de saison.
Okay, you were, a key piece of the puzzle for Isopho's Academy this season. They got 4 wins in their 8 games played. I mean, tell us, how has it been, the rituals for you before you go to every game? You talked about how substituting you are well sometimes to Ari Jefta. How's it been?
Oui, je pense que c'est beaucoup plus la préparation. Dans la préparation de nos matchs, dans le discours du coach, il est beaucoup plus dans la motivation, vu que c'est d'abord un ancien footballeur, donc il connaît les difficultés qu'il y a dans le football. Il connaît les difficultés que les joueurs rencontrent et il connaît les problèmes tactiques de ses joueurs et aussi de l'adversaire parce qu'il est très observateur. Donc le groupe est assez bien, le groupe est uniforme, on a beaucoup de talent dans notre effectif. Je remercie l'administration, surtout M. Angozelesi, qui a pris soin de faire un recrutement assez ciblé. Parce que je pense que le recrutement est très important pour une équipe qui veut aller loin. Et le recrutement est très important. Vous avez cité Jeff Tahare, qui est l'un de nos leaders techniques dans le milieu de terrain. Moi, je suis beaucoup plus dans le secteur défensif, mais j'apporte aussi beaucoup plus à l'équipe. Et en mélangeant tout ce petit groupe-là, on réussit à sortir avec une bonne équipe qui peut aller loin dans ce championnat.
Quelle est la leçon que vous avez tirée après la saison et comment vous vous préparez pour la prochaine
la deuxième partie?
La deuxième partie. Je pense que par rapport à l'année dernière aussi, parce que j'aime beaucoup plus revenir sur ça, on a manqué les play-offs à cause d'un point. Et ça nous a beaucoup affecté. Et ça nous a aussi permis d'apprendre et de comprendre qu'aucun match ne doit être pris à la légère et aucun adversaire n'est facile. Donc la leçon que nous tirons pour cette fin de phase aller est qu'il faudra beaucoup plus travailler sur notre côté offensif, beaucoup plus marquer de buts, beaucoup plus être concentré et essayer de rêver grand, essayer de s'améliorer dans tous les secteurs, du gardien de but jusqu'aux attaquants. La concentration est de mise pour pouvoir atteindre nos objectifs.
Essayez de rêver grand, on a quelques minutes qui restent pour les gens qui vous regardent. Parlez-nous un peu de vous.
Bon, moi je suis assez quelqu'un de simpliste. J'ai pas je tenais juste à vous remercier d'abord pour votre invitation sur ce panel. C'est un honneur pour moi d'être ici et je tenais aussi à remercier tous ceux qui nous regardent et qui ont pris le soin de s'abonner à votre chaîne en fait. Et je profite de l'occasion pour saluer toute la famille Sosa d'abord et aussi tous ceux qui nous suivent au quotidien, ceux qui nous encouragent parce que c'est aussi ça le soutien moral, le soutien physique, le soutien même financier parce que nous sommes dans un cadre où il y a beaucoup de difficultés dans le football mais il y a toutes ces personnes-là qui prennent le soin de nous encourager au quotidien. Donc je tenais aussi à les remercier et à leur leur passer un coucou.
Oui, vous avez été avec les U20 aussi, parlez un peu de l'expérience là, quand même, vous avez marqué quand ils ont joué contre, c'était Dragon ou c'était Dico pour les matchs préparatifs.
Oui, j'ai eu à marquer beaucoup de buts.
Beaucoup de buts quand même.
Voilà. J'ai eu à marquer beaucoup de buts lorsque j'étais en sélection. C'était vraiment une expérience assez louable pour moi. D'abord, j'ai un petit vécu dans la sélection. J'ai commencé chez les U17 très tôt.
Avec les Carlos Baleba.
Voilà. Là, c'est ma promotion.
Aussi.
Voilà, j'ai commencé avec les U17. Malheureusement, on n'avait pas pu aller en Coupe d'Afrique des Nations cette fois-là parce qu'il y avait eu le Covid qui a interrompu. On a continué de travailler, on a évolué et j'ai encore pu être appelé avec les U20 pour notre premier parcours en Unifac. Malheureusement, on n'était pas qualifié cette fois-là. Le coach a néanmoins vu quelque chose en moi et il a continué de m'observer pendant tout ce temps et il m'a rappelé cette deuxième fois pour un autre périple dans le même pays, au Congo. Malheureusement, avec une équipe beaucoup plus améliorée, beaucoup plus talentueuse, mais le sort en a voulu autrement. On n'a toujours pas pu se qualifier, mais on a beaucoup appris et je pense que même pour la suite de nos carrières, ça va beaucoup nous apporter dans le domaine.
Ok, comme les leçons là, est-ce que vous êtes en train d'appliquer ça sur ça aussi?
Bien sûr, parce que moi, je suis toujours en train de m'observer dans le thème de la progression et tout. Je pense que par rapport à l'année dernière, après le périple lors de l'Unifac, mon niveau a beaucoup évolué par rapport à cette saison. Je suis beaucoup plus, que ce soit dans le leadership, que ce soit dans ma façon de jouer. J'ai beaucoup gagné en maturité, j'ai beaucoup gagné en expérience et ça me permet d'aligner de bonnes performances dans le domaine.
Thank you so much, Simon Gideon. Thank you so much, Angu Leslie. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambe, for honoring our invite. I mean, it was a pleasure having you guys on the show. Happy Youth Week, Happy Youth Day, everybody. Have a wonderful time. See you next week, Tuesday. Bye-bye.